Wait, where'd he go?
Where'd Will go? Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Wait, how
Mm.
did how did he start the recording? And then there you are.
Well, there he is.
Man, what is going on? What is going on? It is literally it's booting me out, man. This thing does not like me today.
I was
All right,
like,
y'all. So
Shit.
hey, we are live on YouTube and live on X. Sorry, guys. I don't know why the Facebook thing isn't working, but it is what it is, man.
it is what it is.
It's Facebook.
Yeah. Well, hey. So sis, tell me what you think, man. Let me know what your thoughts are on this game versus the Chiefs.
Um, I where are you guys at? There you are. Of course, like I said earlier before, the glitches. It was too late for us to play as hard a hard game. I appreciate though. I appreciate it. I appreciate seeing the players and who's out there. All that mattered to me this game, honestly, it was just that we beat the Chiefs. I don't even care if Mahomie wasn't even out there or Booger Eater. Like it really didn't matter to me. All that mattered to me is that we beat the Chiefs.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like,
Cause
yo, that's what it's all about. We beat the Chiefs. We got it done. We got
mm,
the W. We got something successful and we came out and we did something, man. That is something that we all got to look at and say, hey, we got to enjoy that, right? We got to
yeah.
come out and say, hey, we got the win. We got the monkey off our back and we got the first round draft pick.
Oh, for
That
sure.
was
Yep.
huge. I mean, like at the end of the day, when we're looking at that, y'all, hey, what a big point to not only just wrap up the season with getting the win versus the Chiefs, but also getting freaking the first round draft pick. And let's talk about it, man. Now, we just talked about how that Chiefs game wasn't that important, wasn't that good of a game. But
Mm-mm.
what that led to was Pete Carroll being fired. So, y'all, hey, I want you to tell me what are your thoughts on Pete Carroll being fired? Would you give him a second year? What do you guys think? Matt, I'll start with you, my brother.
Um, well, you know, I wasn't opposed to not giving him a second year, but his kids had to go for sure. Like that was one stipulation if he was going to stay around was his kids had to go. Um, but then again, I don't think he did. Like he just the way he coached it this year, the way he went about things, like just I don't know, man. I was kind of I was on the fence about it, bro. Like honestly, to tell you the truth, like I could have went either way. I would have been mad if they didn't, and I would have. I'm not mad now that they did. So, I hope that we find consistency, man. Like that's the one thing that we're lacking on with the last five head coaches we've had is consistency. We get so hyped up, like you say, as a fan base that we want to win now because it's been 20 plus years, for us trying to get, a decent season in and we fire a coach every year. So that's where it's gonna have to start is consistency. But like I said, I'm not mad that he's gone, but I'm not mad that he would have been around too if we would have kept him. So
All right. Well, sis, let us know what you think about the Pete Carroll firing.
I was 50-50 on it, mainly because so at the beginning of the season, I was actually stoked. I was like, all right, somebody knows what they're doing. And I I guess maybe my expectations were a little too high because it everything that I was expecting was like the total opposite. Like I was so disappointed in how each game was being played out. Um, I kind of I kind of saw it coming that they were going to um part ways because it's the Raiders and I feel like coaches don't really get more than a year of a chance, which you're not gonna have your dream team in 1 year, right? It's gonna take a little bit of time. We need that consistency that Matt B was talking about. So it's like, oh, like I kind of saw it coming that we're looking for another head coach. At the same time, I was like, well, things didn't change. I mean, we won 2 games and what, so, and it kind of made me think like his judgment and some of the players, Gino, while I get we paid him, but if he's not playing up to standard and he's just failing game after game after game, why would you keep him on the field regardless of money? I mean,
Well,
the Raiders are already paying old coaches money. So
mhm.
what's a player?
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, Matt.
I don't know the dynamics behind it. All I know is that we're paid
I don't
people.
think honestly, if we would have swapped out it, I don't even think Aiden O'Connell back there, Kenny Pickett didn't show any better, in the games that he went in. We didn't adjust anything on our line, man. We put in guys and we kept our faith in guys. Well, we didn't keep our faith in guys. Pete Carroll kept his faith in his old men that he brought in that couldn't cover anything, couldn't block nothing, and consistently had their back. Like, these guys are doing a great job out there. They're doing it. No, they weren't. Like, we could see it on film. Everybody can see it in America when it's live on national television, how bad we are. And you come out in your press conferences saying, hey, we're getting better. We just got to keep practicing. We got to keep doing that. But we've
Yeah,
been
like
practicing since
oh, I do. I think they
we've been
did a
practicing
great
since August,
job.
since
Like,
before July last year. So, like it's that's where Pete Carroll had his flaws was at with me, was he
yeah,
didn't address it. It was no different than Antonio Pierce last year when he wasn't addressing the issues when it came down to the issues. You know what I mean? So that's where I flaw him at. I wasn't expecting a 2-17. God damn, how many games do we play? This seemed like fucking 300 games this year. Anyways,
2-15.
our fucking what's that?
2-15.
Yeah, 2-15. So I wasn't expecting to be 2-15 this year for sure. I was, if anything, I was looking at maybe 6-8 wins, but we didn't come close to that. We didn't deserve it. With what we had.
but you're right. He was backing up his players. Oh, I think they did a great
Mhm.
job. It's like what
With
what game?
Forsyth,
Like
I don't know how many times that guy blew a freaking tackle or blew a block and would get his quarterback lit up. It didn't matter who you put in there at quarterback at that point because none of those guys could block. I mean, there was just things coming out now that players were meeting outside of practice to go over things to learn how to block in the scheme. So if your coach
what
ain't teaching you on the field, what the fuck is he doing there? Why are we paying this
what
dude?
games was Pete watching to where he was like, "Oh, I think they played great." Like,
Well, all
no,
right.
homie.
So we're talking to Pete Carroll, right? Let's
Mm-hmm.
just put it real. The writing was on the wall as soon as Pete Carroll put his son in charge of one of the most important positions on the team.
He
Offensive
Yeah,
line coach is one of the most important parts. Guys, we need to realize that when you put a guy
100%.
at offensive line and he's not experienced, he doesn't have the ability to adapt. And then on top of that, with Spytech being said, hey, he's out there doing the meetings, going into the practice room. The writing's on the wall. At that
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
point, the writing is on the wall, and your head coach needs to have a plan of action. Marcus Banks, thanks for being in the chat, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the support, man. No doubt about it. Hey, so at the end of the day, when we look at that, we have to say, hey, Pete made a ton of mistakes all season long. Not only did it start from the offensive line being shuffled, a lot of questionable things. And honestly, I'm going to tell you like this: Pete was straight up set up for failure again, along with Pete or AP. Think about it. But if you hired Chip Kelly and Chip Kelly was answering to Tom Brady as the off or as the head coach instead of the head coach, does that set you up for success or does that set you up for failure? That sets you up for
Yeah.
failure. There's a power structure within a team. A power structure usually goes head coach, coordinators, person or position coaches. Then you got your GM that answers to the owners. We literally had an offensive coordinator answering to an owner. Then we had our GM going and coaching the offensive line, which was being coached by one of our coach's sons. So we have to look at that and say, hey, this team from the very beginning was not set up for success. It was set up for failure. You can't tell me that Brendan Carroll was the best offensive line coach we could find. It's just that simple. Pete Carroll came down here. He promised success. He said, hey, I win a lot. I come in here. It's going to be an 8-10 season. That's what I do. And when you come in and you promise things like that, guys, you have to deliver. And Pete Carroll delivered on absolutely nothing. We don't got a cohesive offensive line. We don't run the football. We threw the football 43 times, multiple times in a game. Yes, I get it. We were back behind. You know, we were backed up. We were behind in the scoreboard, everything like that. But at the end of the game, you can't tell me the formula to win football with the Raiders is to throw the ball over 43 times with Geno Smith.
Yeah, how many interceptions did Geno throw this season?
Too many.
Hey, Big Luck says it. The writing was on the wall, on Carroll's forehead, and they couldn't see it. You know, dude, it was that bad. So at the end of the day, when you see all these things happening and when you see all these things that have come true with Pete Carroll, that's why he's not here. That's why he's fired, you know? And when we look at all those things, man, that brought up that conclusion of him being fired. Now, the question, guys, comes up, and I feel like we're in the same spot. Tell me how many times last year, guys, we talked about being in the same spot. We felt like we were in this like oasis. Oh, it says here. Oh, never mind. Thought if somebody else came in, but guys, we were in the same spot. I feel like every single year that we come back to this, we are in the same spot. How many years have we done this together, guys? 3?
Yep.
Yeah.
3 years in a row. We have sat here on the same podcast talking about the same thing in the offseason.
3 already?
This will be year 3.
Yeah.
Holy moly, time
Last
flies.
year we talked about it in the offseason. Remember? We talked about, hey, who are we going to bring in? Is it going to be Pete Carroll? Is it going to be Ben Johnson? Lots of excitement. Same thing this year. Lots of excitement. Who are we going to bring in? But at this point, does it really matter who we bring in when we're dysfunctional from the top down?
Yeah.
And nobody can fix this, man. And I'm going to tell you like this. It's going to take more than one draft. It's going to take more than one season for the Raiders to come in and change this.
And people don't understand that it takes time because there are people who are so pissed off that we're not like playoff contenders now, but things take time. You know,
Absolutely.
like we need to build, we need to draft correctly. Hopefully Brady and Spytek will do better this year. But like it takes time. It's not gonna happen over one season, obviously. But yeah, I mean,
and you brought up something, sis, that's absolutely true. For the Raiders to turn it around and to become something, we need to draft correctly. We need to draft for the future and get players in place that we're actually using, and our coaches are not just sitting on the bench, right? So here comes the question. First round pick. Now, right now, we don't even know who our head coach is, right? Which is a difficult thing. We'll talk about that later. But right now, if you guys are sitting as the GM, not as the head coach, not as anything else, who are you guys looking at, and what position is your primary position of need if you're drafting at number 1? And I'm going to start with Matt.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, it's got to be a quarterback if you're going number 1. If you're taking that number 1 pick, it's got to be on something valuable like a quarterback. Mendoza or Moore, I'm good with either one of them, honestly. That's their choice, you know, whoever they find to fit better in their scheme that they're going to run with and whatever. Then again, but you got to have a head coach and coordinators and all that stuff in order to get that kind of guy you want. So Anyways, but yeah, so quarterback for sure. And if you're not going to take quarterback at that number one, man, you got to trade back, dude. You can't reach on the first pick, man. You cannot reach on the first pick. If you're not satisfied with the quarterback in this draft, if you're not satisfied with Mendoza after the end of the season this year, going into the draft, don't go quarterback, don't reach, trade back, build for the future, be smart.
Sis?
Yeah, we need a quarterback, someone we can develop. I don't want a vet. I want someone fresh, someone that can adjust and learn the culture with the Raiders, you know, not somebody who's been there, done that with all these teams, think they know it all, think they're hot shit. No, we need somebody new, so they can develop so they can learn and, develop as their own person going into the NFL. And again, learn the culture. I think if we don't get a quarterback, in my opinion, maybe a wide receiver. I seen that I forgot his name, from Ohio was declaring for the draft, and he is pretty good.
I think it's Smith or something like that, the big wide receiver that they have.
For some reason, I thought it was Caleb. I don't know why. I can't
Oh,
remember
are
his
you talking
name.
Caleb Downs?
No, well, he's from Ohio,
Okay, wide receiver.
and yes, he was on Mel Kiper's top.
Jeremiah Smith. That's the
Yeah,
big time
yeah,
wide receiver out
yeah.
there.
Yeah, him. I don't know why I think. Anyways, but yes, because I watched a couple of videos on him. So,
But even then, you can't reach at him on one, in my opinion. You can't.
Yeah.
You
no,
trade back, you can get him.
Well,
You trade back.
and then maybe we can. Carlson, I love you, but a fresh kicker as well.
I think a kicker you can definitely get later rounds if you're going to draft one, or you're going to get one at undrafted free agent. This kid,
I don't know, man. Janikowski would have been there after our pick. I know that.
And this is the thing, right? The kicker out of Ole Miss, man, he looks like a complete stud. I'm watching the game as we're going through the pod. So I mean, like, the kid has an absolute cannon. He can kick from 60. I'll be like, he can pretty much put it anywhere on the field, and you're going to score 3. But let's be here. If we are drafting at number 1, if the Raiders are drafting numero uno, we better address the quarterback position immediately. This is that you're sold on the guy that's going to change the franchise, on a guy that you just said is going to captain the ship and make changes for the future. There's no bigger position on this team. So if you are convicted, and this is where I'm talking to John Spicek, if you have conviction, if you really believe in the guy, then you have to follow through and go get him. If you don't have 100% conviction, then you have to trade back. Talk to the Jets, get their pick and their 18th pick, and then address every single position that you need, and you go best player available. The problem with this is, again, Raider Nation will want the quarterback position addressed. And now you have one quarterback who's declared, which is Mendoza. Simpson, who's supposed to be the number 2 quarterback, hasn't declared yet. Or, sorry, the guy out of Oregon, Moore.
And Simpson
just declared. But Simpson is not worth a number 1 pick.
Bro. He's not
worth the number 1.
He's a third-round pick, man.
Absolutely. When you're looking at that, if you're not convicted on your guy, which is Mendoza or Moore, you have to pass it up. And you have to say, hey, those are not our guys. We can't build a franchise around it, right? But it all depends on who you get as your head coach as well.
Yeah.
Because that, to me, is going to dictate how you're going to develop the player, who you're going to get. Now, talking about developing and getting players and getting coaches, right? Guys, we have a coaching vacancy. And there is a lot of coaches out there available. Let's be real. The pool keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
There's a lot of teams that need a head coach.
Yeah. My question for you guys: who's next? I'd be like, we have John Harbaugh coming out. We have Kubiak. We have Brian Flores. We have Chris Shula. We have Matt LaFleur. We have Mike McDaniels that just got fired. I mean, lots of coaches out there available. Guys, I want to know who you guys are interested in, who you guys think will make big time changes. So, Matt, let's start with you, my brother.
Hold on, Maddie B, because you've been going first this whole time.
Okay, sis. Val, go ahead, sis. She got her list. Hey, ladies first, sis.
Yeah,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna go off too, man.
I actually like Robert, right? I can't say his name.
You like Robert Saleh.
Saleh from the 49ers?
Yeah. Yeah, I like him.
Okay. Well, so let me get why you like Robert Saleh, sis. What do you think Robert Saleh is going to do for this organization?
I feel like he's got, like, he could bring some challenges in, you know, like good, positive, like turnarounds. I mean, I like how he works. I don't know
Okay.
how else to describe it, but I like that's one name that kind of stood out to me because I kind of like been following him a little bit. I don't want anybody that's been with the Broncos. So the OC,
So Vance Joseph's out.
Their quarterbacks coach, their deep are Vance Joseph's out, and everybody else pretty much right there. No,
but you have made a point like before when I texted you like the group, oh, this person's gonna interview. They're what'd you say? They're turning over. Hold on. They're checking all their stones. I can't think word for word what you said, but I mean they're
turning
Robert
every stone.
Jones.
They're turning every stone.
yeah, there you go.
And you know what, sis? I like
But
Robert
it's
Saleh.
good.
I think Robert Saleh is a great defensive coordinator. My big issue right now is that, again, he's a defensive coordinator, and we are offensively screwed up. I mean, like we're screwed up as a whole organization. I will say that. But at the same time, defensively, bringing in a defensive coordinator doesn't solve our offensive issues. That's my only thing with Robert Saleh. If you bring in Robert Saleh, you better bring in a hell of an offensive coordinator to take over the offense and to run it. So that way he's able to be able to make changes to that offense. But I see why you're saying Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is a great coach. Lots of people are on Robert Saleh as well. So I 100% agree with what you got going on there.
He was with the Jets before, wasn't he?
He was with the Jets before and he wasn't successful. And now he went back to San Francisco and he again has a nasty defense and again is considered a great defensive coach that's going to get another opportunity. But Matt, what do you got, my brother?
Man, I got a couple on my list that I would actually pull the trigger for if it came down to it. My number one, you brought up the whole offensive defensive coordinators, right? Like we got to bring in an offensive minded head coach. Okay. I agree with you there. I think the best available person to come out and be able to take that next step as a coordinator is Clint Kubiak, in my opinion. You can see how the defense has done over in Seattle and how Kubiak has done with his offense, which complements it really well, which means that I think he's probably ready to take that next step out versus most of these other guys that are out there. I do, however, though, like Chris Shula a lot. I really like that Rams defensive coordinator. I like the fact that he comes from the McVay tree. You know what I mean? Kubiak, I was on the fence with him at first, but you're right. I think we need an offensive-minded coach back there, and I think he's probably the best one available. But Chris Shula, I like him. The fact that he does come from the McVay tree, and man, that dude can coach, bro. Like that guy can
Well,
coach.
he coaches
But
defense. He doesn't coach
he
offense.
coaches defense. I know, but that's what I was getting ready to say. But he coaches defense. But he comes. That's the only thing that I'm worried about with him. The only other offensive coordinator that I can think of that would do anything remotely close to what we need would be Cliff Kingsbury, and I really. I don't know, man. With him, it kind of rubbed us the wrong way last year when he kind of pulled what he pulled last year. So I'm on that aspect right there alone. He's like towards the bottom of my list for that reason right there. So give me Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, man. At the moment, for me, Clint Kubiak is at the top of the list. Why? Because he's an offensive coordinator that has proven everything that he's had to do. He's a young, creative mind. He might be the next Ben Johnson. And if we're talking about the next Ben Johnson, we might have a great coach for the next 18 years. When we look at that, we have to give the guy the opportunity. Now, with John Harbaugh coming out and saying that he's going to bring in his own GM, and in order for whatever team to bring him, they have to do that. That rubs me the wrong way, and that puts me out on John Harbaugh. When we look at Brian Flores, defensive coordinator for the Vikings, if you bring in Brian Flores, you have to have a strong offensive coordinator to bring in with him. If you bring in Chris Shula, you have to have a strong offensive coordinator come in with him. You can't bring these two defensive coordinators, bring them on, and say, hey, change my offense, when that's not their specialty. Their specialty is defense. That's why they're there as defensive coordinators, and that's what they improve. Matt LaFleur is an interesting character. He comes from the McVay tree, but he's not the play caller. That's why, for me, he's lower on this list. A new name that has come out is Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels is a very, very interesting coach to me. I'd be like, do you bring him in as a head coach? Do you bring him in as an OC? A lot of people will tell you right now, hey, bring him in as an OC, and he can be potent. Imagine
He's
this.
from Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine this. You have McDaniels on one side and Brian Flores on defense. That's something that can really build something special. And I think something like that is a very high possibility for our team to be able to build.
He reminds me of a Guido.
So my only thing with Brian Flores is when he was head coach in Miami, it just seemed like he could not keep it together with the locker rooms, man. Like he just and then I know he had the whole thing about he was trying to get paid off to blow games and stuff like that, but still, if you're that loyal to your team and your guys in the locker room, you wouldn't lose them like that. You know what I mean? The people wanted him out of Miami. The people wanted him out of there. That's why I have such a hard time with Brian Flores as being a head coach right now again. Not saying that he couldn't turn it around, but we've done that with McDaniels too, man. Fucking, you want to see it again for another year or?
But that wasn't that. I'd be like, Brian Flores was a totally different situation than him losing in the locker room. The guy went to the playoffs the last game of the season. He was 8-9 or something like that.
Yeah, he barely made the playoffs, though. I mean, like it was like,
but he made the playoffs. I'd be like, hey, we're sitting here. Hey, you either make it or you don't, right? He made the.
But I can see like what you're saying.
Fired.
I do like that idea though that you have with the Brian. Like, if you did bring him in as a head coach because he's defensive minded coach, so let him work on the defense, like you say. I'm sorry. What's up, Val? Go ahead.
It's all right. I can't talk over you guys because you guys are like. You guys get into it. Hey, didn't Cliff part ways even now to persuade other things?
Relationships.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything on that yet, honestly.
I could have swore that he has parted ways with who he's with now. And that kind of like runs into what last year when he kind of like dipped. You know what I mean? Was it last year or the last time?
Yeah, because he left us to go be coordinator for the Redskins. Commanders.
Well, but this is, I think, also a different situation, sis. he got let go in order for him. He went and talked to his head coach. He went in and talked to Dan Quinn and said, "Hey, I'm getting a lot of calls and opportunities to become a head coach." And that's why he was actually let go in order to pursue higher
So,
opportunities.
so he was let go. He's not with the Commanders anymore.
No, he's not with the Commanders.
Wow. Okay, that's news. Did that just happen today or what? Or how long ago did that happen? I've missed that.
This
Wow.
week.
That
Yesterday.
happened like a while ago. Like that's why
Or day
Kingsbury's
before.
out there going out for head coaching jobs because he's
Well,
allowed
I
to.
knew that. I knew like he was like people were gonna call him, but I didn't know that they had let him go for it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
that's
I thought
why
he was
he's let
still a
go
part of
ahead.
their. Okay. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
why they gave
Okay.
him the go ahead. Yeah. So I'd be like, hey, big freaking salute to my boy, Raider Homer, for being in the chat. He says, hey, make Patrick Graham the head coach. He's earned it. Then bring a young play caller and draft a quarterback. You know
Don't
what?
be surprised if they don't call him and ask him in
Don't
for
be-
an interview, man. They do it
Don't be
every year. They've done it
surprised.
twice so far.
Who's he got an interview with?
Patrick Graham just got an interview, I believe, with the Commanders.
Is it?
I believe so. Not absolutely 100% sure, but he just got a job interview. And here's the thing, right? There's so many possibilities. But the one thing I do like Doug is saying, Val said it, everybody is saying, bring in a young play caller. Stop going for the retread. Stop going for the guy that has been freaking beat up and beat down, and everybody let them go. This is why I think Kubiak needs to be our guy. This is his opportunity. This is his time to shine. And I mean, like, every single stop, man. And if you want your quarterback to grow with your coordinator, there's only one way to do it. And that's to draft him and then to bring in that young quarterback. Because, hey, and I'm going to ask you guys this. Out of all those list of coaches, how many coaches do you really think are going to take the Raiders seriously? How attractive is this job? I'd be like, if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm looking at this job like, are you kidding me, bro? This is a total disaster.
To tell you the truth, though, it's not that bad, though, bro. Like if you think about, okay,
we're the worst team in the league.
I'm not saying, hey, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, we have pieces, bro. You have Ashton Genty, you have Brock Bowers, you have Max Crosby, you have JPJ, you have players you can use and build off of. You look at the Jets. Do you want to go to the Jets job over the Raiders job?
Bro, they have.
How bad are we?
Just because
we're not that bad, bro. We just got to get some pieces put together, and we'll figure it out.
How bad are we? You just mentioned those pieces in the Jets, and in the same sentence that the Jets had a better record.
No, we had the same record.
Oh, they're both they got two wins.
3 and 14. 3 and 14. We both went 3 and 14. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're a head coach, and I'm looking at the Giants, the Raiders, the Jets, these players, Giants look good, but
the Giants have a quarterback there in a way better position than we are.
Jackson Dart, but you also got the first round pick with the Raiders. You have all those pieces I just named. You put JPJ back at center. You put your guys that we have on our line that we drafted, Grant, and all those guys that we picked up. Let them fight for their jobs. We're not as bad and as
Grant is not as good as you think he is. JPJ struggled this year, bro.
He did, but he was bounced around this year, bro.
He struggled. He struggled this year. And to say that JPJ can lock up one position, okay. You got one position locked up, but then you're going to tell me that Charles Grant or Rogers and Grant are going to come in, Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant are going to come in and fill up the two other spots as starters when both our tackles gave up the most sacks in the season. You can bring back Colton Miller. Right. And our right tackle, Dylan Glaze, gave up the third highest sacks in the whole league.
So you address that and you addressed them. You don't have to address the whole offensive line in one season, bro.
I get it. But when you're talking about pieces, man, when you're talking we're not that bad. Matt,
You
gotta
have
be
pieces
real.
to
We
build
are
around, though.
bad.
Where
We are
if you're the
bad
Jets,
out
you
there.
have no pieces to build around. You have nobody to build around. So, if you look
Max
at the
Crosby's the only piece on
rosters,
defense. Max Crosby's your only. We need corners. We need
mhm,
linebackers. We need a defensive tackle. We need an opposite side defensive end. We need a left guard. We need a right guard.
but you're not
We
going
need
to
a
tell me
right
that
tackle.
players aren't going to come play for their coaches when they're released in free agency and stuff like that.
Bro, we've heard this. Tell me what free agents are coming to the Raiders that want to come and play for the Raiders, that don't come here and don't just tank their career when they come here. Tell me.
Right?
Because, bro, I haven't seen it. Remember, AP said, hey, well, I'm going to have a ton of players want to come play for me. I didn't see it then. Pete Carroll brought his guys, Geno Smith, bum.
They were
Dylan
all
Forsythe,
bums in Seattle.
bum.
Everybody knew that from the get-go.
So-
Every time he signed one, bum, bum, bum. Everybody called it. They've been bums for a minute. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think we're as bad as some of these other teams that are looking for coaches are, honestly. I think, yeah, we need a lot of pieces, but we have pieces too. We have solid cornerstones to build our team around that other teams don't have.
I mean, you're right. You do have some pieces. They're not being utilized correctly in the plays, and
We didn't have an offensive line coach that knew how to run an offensive line. So how are you going to tell me that we didn't have actual talent on the team when we only seen 2 games out of all the rookies? You know what I mean? So
how are you going to say that they have talent,
rookies, man.
Bro, what is the proof that you're saying that they did so good that they can start next year?
I'm not saying that they had. I'm just saying you had to give them more than 2 games to say that, oh, we ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? We got 2 games out of a lot of these rookies, and you're telling me that we got nothing. We ain't even got no tape to run on.
That's why. Look at what you told me. You said you can put those 2 guys in and plug in and play. That means that you're putting those 2 guys.
Did they do better than the starters that were in there when they were plugged in and played? Did they do better than the starters when they were plugged in? You're going off of
2 games of tape, like you said. You're going off 2
but they did
and
do
1
better
game of tape is against the 3rd string for the Chiefs. One game is the 3rd string versus the Chiefs.
Our starters didn't look any good against the Chiefs.
Excuse me.
I'm just.
Hey,
go ahead, Val.
I cannot speak over you guys. I'm over here trying. It all leads back to square one. We need an offensive coordinator. Defense, it goes down to the coaches, the staffing. We need people who know what they're doing, who can help develop, who can do correct plays and not do the same thing over and over. You know what I mean? And utilize the correct people, because Maddie B is right, though. We do have pieces. We do have people. They're just not being utilized correctly because we don't have the correct head honchos to, finish.
No, I get what you're saying, but I get it. So I'm going to, here's some chats. Hold on. We got, it says, a lot of head coaches don't want to come to the Raiders. We go through head coaches as often as we do underwear.
True that.
That right there is a fact I can get behind right there. That right there.
Build the O-line through free agency. It worked with Hudson in the O-line. And no one's job is safe. That is correct. Hey, man. And at the end of the day, that's why we're saying, look, there's a lot of things we have to address. And I'm right there with you, Doug. I think us addressing the offensive line in the offseason, bringing in 2 or 3 pieces. I don't think we have 2 or 3 pieces on this roster that we can put in and say they're plug and play players right now. I think Charles Grant is a great developmental player. I think that he's somebody that we have to keep developing. And I think Caleb Rogers is another great developmental player.
I even like that Mafi guy. Mafi's, I think, a good development.
Mafi got worked.
That was his first game.
Worked.
Bro, I don't know. I watched some stuff on him, bro. They were saying this dude's got some potential, bro. Like, he's got a lot of potential. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listen.
Might be wrong. I might be wrong.
Okay, Will. You said, y'all said that some of the players were meeting up on their own time, right?
Yep.
So,
and
I mean,
these
guys were playing good, but, obviously they weren't being taught or coached the correct way. So, how do we know how they really play or how they have been playing in college if they're not given the opportunity or being taught at practice and they're having to meet up on their own time? And that goes back to
I'll explain it this way, sis. By the time that you hit the NFL, You're a fucking pro. You're not being taught the basics of the game. You're not being taught, oh, this is how you get in your stance. This is how you
No,
get out of your stance. You're getting, hold on,
but they're
hold on. You asked, and I'm giving you the answer. Okay. It takes a certain level of professionalism, and that's why these players were getting together. Because, yes, they felt that Brendan Carroll wasn't up to par, that he wasn't doing his job. So they were getting together. But some of these things, we were just getting manhandled. Guys were getting put on their backside, straight bench pressed off the line. I'd be like, this wasn't them not delivering on X's and O's. This was them straight out not executing at all, not being big enough or strong enough to take on those guys. Lincoln Kennedy said it best. We're light in the ass. Across the board. He said it at the beginning of the season when we had him on the show. We are light in the ass, and that it showed off all year. We just don't have guys that are maulers. We don't have guys that are big, that are strong, and that are nasty. And we need that. So, I'll be like,
it got very quiet now.
And that's the sad part. But at the same time, again, I'm with Matt. I get what he's saying, that we do have pieces. We have guys. Every team has pieces, right? Every team has a little something because we all have blue chip players. Whatever organization.
I'm just saying what I'm getting at is we have more blue chip players than some of these other teams that wouldn't draw attention to these other some of these potential head coaches to come in and want that job. Is it going to be work? Fuck yeah, it's going to be work. Everybody knows it's going to be work. We're the worst fucking team in the league, dude. But it can be fixed, man. Look at the Commanders, bro. Look at the Commanders. It can be fixed from worst to first. Look at that. It can be fixed. We just got to put the pieces in the right spot for it to work, bro. You got to have the coordinators in the right spot. You got to have the head coach in the right spot. You got to have the fucking owners letting the coaches do their jobs, letting the GM pick the dudes that he needs to pick and put in there and fucking work together as a team and turn this franchise around. That's what I was getting at when it came down to.
So I'll hit you with this. You're right. They made a big change, but look at them this year. Mm-hmm. One player goes down, and the Commanders are not the same.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, again, when you go to that, I'm like, is that what you want? Is that like we're one player, and then after that one player, or we're a total disaster and we can't handle anything? That's where I look at that, and I say, like, the Commanders didn't have as many blue chip players as we thought they did. And we don't have as many blue chip players as we think we do. People think JPJ's a blue chip player. They think
he can be. He's got a lot of potential. He's got more potential than a lot of these linemen.
But he's not a blue chip player. Right now, he's not a blue. We could sit here and I'll be like, is he a Pro Bowler?
What did you guys tell me last year when I wanted Dillon Gabriel? I was like, oh, he's got potential. Y'all are like, we're not looking for potential. We're looking for
results.
For results.
And that's where I go with JPJ. I love JPJ. I think he's a great player. I think he can be good. But I'm not going to go out and say that he's a blue chip player right now. The only blue chip players we have right now are Max Crosby and Brock Bowers. Proof is they both have a Pro Bowl. And if you look at it, you have to game plan for those guys. Max Crosby, everybody circles Max Crosby. Brock Bowers, everybody circles Brock Bowers. Like, you think about it, what do they say about our team, Matt? How do you stop the Raiders?
You got to circle those two players.
You circle Brock Bowers on offense, right? You go like, hey, people go like, you take away.
You got to
circle
Max Crosby on defense. Exactly. Yeah, you got to build around those two players on your scheme when you're going up against these guys. You have to know what you're doing. You got to know where they're at all times and what they're doing. If you're going to double team them, if you're going to leave one guy open, if you're going to just see that guy, whatever you got to game plan for that. Where is he at every play? What's he do when he's in this position? What's he do when he's over here? You know what I mean? So you have to all the time, but
And I'm not telling you that they're not good players. Again, when we talk about blue chip, that's what I mean, Matt. Like blue chip is a guy that's already developed, that's already making plays, that people have to circle already, right? Now we have a lot of potential. And I get what you're saying. We have a lot of potential, right? Now, when you talk about the potential, how do we unlock that potential? Like
with good head coaches and good coordinators.
Right. And we thought Pete Carroll last year, and I was on the train. I think every single one of us was on the train that we said, hey, look at this guy's resume. He was won a Super Bowl. He's had a lot of success. He's a developer.
Our expectations were very high.
And he came out and totally shit the bed.
Yeah. Flop.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we make it so we are looking at a coach that doesn't shit the bed again?
You can't have two guys in the top. You can't have one guy listening to Mark Davis and you can't have one guy listening to Tom Brady. You get what I'm saying? That's almost kind of the way it was this year. Like you were saying, Chip Kelly, he reported to Tom Brady, right? I almost guarantee you that Pete Carroll was fucking reporting to Mark Davis. So Mark Davis has to get out of has to let these people do their job. All he needs to do is just sign the fucking paper, sign the check, give it to the guys, stay your fucking nose out of the NFL business, and just sit back and watch your team win games. Let your coordinators and your coaches do their job. That's all he needs to do. But if he's going to have his nose in everything and try to run things and behind the scenes, it's never going to work. It's never going to work, man, especially with somebody that has no football knowledge. If you're bringing in people to have football knowledge to help your team out, butt out, dude. Go invent something. Let them do something. Let them build your team.
Sis?
That's where I stand with that guy.
Sis?
Huh?
Same question for you. Now, with everything that we've talked about, how do you build this team for success?
Everybody's got to be on the same page. Let Brady and Spytek do their thing. Mark, he has no business.
No, I agree.
Mingling. He has no business mingling. And I mean,
I get
it. It starts from the top. It really does start from the top. Everybody needs to be on the same page. Everybody doesn't need to be crossing, and you know what I mean? Like, their communication needs to be a little bit better, and Mark just needs to stay at home with his haircut.
And you guys hit a lot of things on the head, but I like the letter that they sent out. Spytek came out and he said the buck stops here. When the buck stops here, that means we have somebody to answer to. That means there's going to be somebody responsible. At the end of the day, the Raiders needed accountability, and accountability across the board, not from the coaches, not just from the players, but from everybody, right? Now, when you have accountability and you're able to address all these issues, I think that's going to change a lot of things. You have to let Spytek do his job. I don't want to hear about a part-time owner and Tom Brady coming out and saying, oh, I'm hiring this guy. It's not about Tom Brady. I don't give a fuck about Tom Brady. And we need to get off this train that Tom Brady's greatness is what's going to bring us a great coach. I want to know the track record of Tom Brady's great coaching hires that everybody's just going to believe in.
So far, we've missed on everything, or we've missed on every hit.
Exactly. So when you do that and you say, hey, we're going to depend on Tom Brady to make this happen, then we have to say, hey, at the end of the day, he hasn't done a damn thing. Stay out of the way. Let Spytek pick his guy. Let Spytek come in and say, hey, this is my guy. This is who I'm going to roll with. And this is who is going to develop our quarterback. And if him and that coach are on the same page and they say Fernando Mendoza is the number one pick or more or whoever, then that's who we ride with and that's what we got to do.
What if they bring somebody from the past?
That you're talking John Gruden?
Any of them.
The only guy that's in the mix from the past, I think, is John Gruden. That people are saying this is not, and the Raiders haven't got him in an interview. I'll be like, right now, there's nobody from our past that's being interviewed.
To tell you the truth, if we were hiring John Gruden back, I'm not bringing him back as a head coach. I'm bringing him back as a coordinator. And I know that he's not going to do that. So you're probably not going to get him back. And that's the only way if I'm – and it's got to go through John Spytek and it's got to go through the other guys first. It can't just go through Mark Davis and have him go sign off on this stuff. Why did you bring all these other guys in if you're just going to go hire back these old guys again? If he works out a deal, becomes an offensive coordinator, comes over, I could see something like that. You get somebody that you could go with a Brian Flores at that point. You could go with somebody like that and have your guy, because John Gruden knows offense. That dude's an offensive guru. He can run some offense. But yeah, that's the only way I see him coming back. I don't see him coming back as a head coach. Not in this franchise.
Because okay, so obviously anything can happen. Something can change tonight or tomorrow morning. But what if they did bring somebody back from the past? Would they work with any of these other people who were?
I don't think that's the thing, sis. I'd be like, you said anybody from the past. I'm like,
the only person I'd bring back from the past would be Tom Cable for some line coach. That'd be the only guy I would like. Even
I don't
think
see
about
anybody from our past that we'd bring back. There's nobody besides John Gruden that even has like
the capability of.
Like not even like like any like type of like hype or anything like that behind him. I mean,
and I think Greg Olson, I think he's played his last card in Vegas and in Oakland and LA and everywhere he's been with the team. I think this is his last go around with them too. So,
and who knows, right?
I don't think Greg Olson will be back.
Who knows? They might have him on as their quarterbacks coach. You know,
they could.
And I'm going to tell you guys like this: I don't like Gruden. I don't want Gruden 3.0. The reason is, what am I going to get with Gruden 3.0 that I didn't get with 2.0 and 1.0? Let's stop living in the past. Let's move towards the future. This is one thing I get with Raider Nation, right? We get all this nostalgia and we start going like, oh, well, this guy won a Super Bowl here and this guy won a Super Bowl there. We always get the guys on their backside of their careers instead of getting it on the front side of their careers.
And not only that, but we're not Oakland anymore, man. It's hard to say. Our fan base ain't even Oakland anymore. We have some Oakland fans, but we're a whole different breed. We can't keep living, like you said, we can't keep living in the past that we're this tough knock around, bad boys of the NFL type image anymore. We're not that anymore, man. And until we can figure out our identity, we're going to be in the abyss every year, dude. So we got to figure out what our new identity is, because it's not the old Oakland Raiders. It's not the old Raiders of the past, like you're saying. So. Yeah.
And again, we look at that and we say, hey, we have to make changes. And the reason I say Kubiak instead, and people I know are killing for John Harbaugh right now, and saying, oh, yeah, John Harbaugh, he's got all this proven.
Same thing as Pete Carroll, though.
Yeah, but I'm like, and I agree with that. But I'm going to tell you like this. Kubiak could be the next John Harbaugh and could be a good coach for the Raiders for the next 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh could come in here and be a good coach. He's not going to be here for more than 5 to 7 years.
100%. And not only that.
Go ahead.
No, I was to say, not only that, but what did John Harbaugh hasn't done anything with these dudes that he's had. What makes you think he's going to come over to the Raiders and change his franchise around and take us to a Super Bowl when he couldn't do it with Lamar Jackson, with Hunter Henry, with, you know what I mean? Or you couldn't do it with the stacked team you have right now. So why would you bring him over here to try to rebuild our team to take us to a Super Bowl? And you said you only got about 5-7 years with that guy before he turns around and decides to, we decide to either let him go or.
He'll be 70.
Really?
bro.
He's
He'll
already
be in
that
his
old?
70s. Dude, he's like in his 50s or 60s. He'll almost be like 7. He's an older cat.
He was with Otis head coach.
Oh wow.
So
But
they're saying no more retreads unless it's Crew. And you know what? Again, this is where I keep saying, I'm like, people will disagree. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, whoever Spike Tech picks, there's going to be 150 people coming out and saying that he was the wrong pick, that he wasn't the right guy for the job.
there's people saying that about Genty right now on that
That's
pick.
People were saying that he was a bust.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, he broke rookie record. He broke a rookie record on a shitty team, dude. Broke Jacobs' record.
But
so,
hey, guys, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to give you guys the last 54 seconds of the Miami Old Miss game. Miami is driving. They're on the 20. They are down 3. It's 49, 48, 46. They are in a 2-by-2 formation with the running back to the left. They hand it off. Oh, it's actually RPO. Looks like a zone run by Beck. It's down to 36 seconds, okay? Old Miss is up 27-24 on the U, and the U is driving. So the reason we're talking about this, guys, is because we expect a lot of players coming out from these teams to be on the Raiders. The U could literally move back and draft Bain out of Miami. If Old Miss, the quarterback from Old Miss, decides not to come out this year, the Raiders might be really sold on him, and they decide to wait for next year. It'll be like lots of players.
Carson Beck's coming out this year, right? Carson Beck's coming out this year, right?
Yeah. Carson Beck hasn't done too hot, but I'd be like, he's been.
No, I'm just saying he would definitely be somebody that you would have to bring in for, like, you know, to develop for sure. But you know, you could if there's things you like about him, man, you could get him in a later round, man. Bring him in. There's no reason why we can't draft more than one quarterback too this year.
Hey, and this is where we got to go back to it, right? We got to take as many shots as we can.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders need as many bullets as they can to fire off and get the right guy. All right, so hey, Miami's 2-by-2 on the 19. Oh, Beck drops back. He's reading the field, throws left. Oh, open to number 0, and they are on the 8-yard line. First down, Miami on the 8 with 31 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, they got time to score.
Yep.
How many timeouts they got?
Hold on here. Let me look. Like they're see here telecast. It was to Martin. Martin got the first down on the 8-yard line, and there is 2 timeouts left by Miami.
Oh, they got plenty of time to score a touchdown.
One timeout. Hey, I'm telling you right now, don't be amazed if they just run out the clock. It's 1st and goal. 1st and goal.
They score. They put it away, though. They put Ole Miss in their seat and send them home.
Let's talk a little Mendoza. Let's talk a little Mendoza, a little bit of Mendoza and more. Okay, guys. Right now, Fernando Mendoza is being considered the number 1 pick, the one that's the most polished, right? But Dante Moore from Dante Moore from Oregon is making a lot of waves because people love his physical ability. Now, he hasn't declared for the draft. Everybody's expecting him to declare for the draft. If he comes out, who do you guys pick and why? What are you looking at? Are you looking at the more athletic guy, or are you looking at the guy that's already polished right now? And Val, I'll start with you.
Maybe go.
Maddie
B, go.
I tell you the truth, man. It's all going to depend on your. If I'm the GC, okay, if because you have to have you got to have one or the other. So if I'm the GC, it's a tough one, dude. Like, I like both players, dude. So I'm not going to be mad about either pick, but I think you got to go with Mendoza, man. He's got the more upside to him that, you know, Moore's a great quarterback. I think he's going to have a great career, but I really think that we are looking for that franchise leader, somebody that'll put us on his back and take us there. And I think Mendoza shows more of that than Moore does. Now, Moore does have a lot of special abilities, bro. That dude can fucking throw the ball. He can run the ball. He can read. He's a good quarterback. But with those kind of quarterbacks come a lot of response. Like, a lot of things could happen with that quarterback. He takes off running. He gets hit by a linebacker. He could RG3 himself right out of the league. And that could happen to any quarterback, honestly. But it's going to happen more to those guys that are running around outside the pocket and taking off for first downs and stuff. Those are the guys. So I think we got to go Mendoza, man. And in all honesty, I think we got to go Mendoza. But if we decide to trade back and get more and keep building up this team that we got to build up, then you got to. Then you have to take Dante Moore.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Matt. Beck just sneaks in Glenn Beck just sneaks in for the go-ahead touchdown with 18 seconds. The Old Miss goes man-to-man in the red zone and gets pulled away, and Glenn Beck makes an 8-yard touchdown to go ahead in the Fiesta Bowl, 30-27 with 18 seconds left for Miami and Old Miss, baby. What a
Carson
game.
Beck? The quarterback?
Carson Beck.
Yeah,
sorry.
Carson.
I said Glenn Beck.
I was like, Glenn Beck. It's like a radio host.
He's too excited.
And here's my thing, right? I'm going to tell you like this. Mendoza is more polished. I'm tired of going off potential. The Raiders need to stop going and saying, oh, there's so much potential there. No. Get me the guarantee. Get me the guy that's already pro-ready, the guy that's going to come in here and make an immediate impact on the team. I don't want to hear that we wasted our first-round draft pick on a guy that we're developing, that we're working on, that we see a lot of potential in. I want a guy that we can say that is NFL ready, that is here to take over the team, that is here to be a proper leader. And what I see in Mendoza is a leader. I like him. I like him. I can't tell you enough about all the qualities that this kid has. While he doesn't have the big arm, and I get it, he doesn't have the big upside of Moore because of his athletic ability. He has enough to make it happen. He has a lot of brain, man. This kid could be the next Andrew Luck, and we don't even know it.
Yeah,
that's
and I like his leadership. He's got great leadership, man. Like his wins, his losses, everything, man. Like he takes everything well. That's one thing I do like about him. But I was gonna say something else too, man. I forgot what I was gonna say, man. You took it off. It was something you just said, and I was like, I was gonna refer to something about it, but I can't remember now.
Was it that Lady Val's the best?
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was.
I knew it.
So go ahead, sis. Who do you got, Mendoza or Moore? Are you looking at
really
potential, or are you looking at a guy that's already refined it now?
I'd have to look at the pros and cons of both. But I mean, everybody's got potential when it comes to the draft. You just got to figure out who's got a little bit more to offer than the other one. So, because you could be well polished, but lack in some other areas. I don't know. I don't really know much about Moore, so I'll have to do my research. But yeah.
So what I was going to say was you almost have to go with the more polished nowadays because you're not getting the development in the NFL unless you get drafted like Jordan Love and you have to sit for 3 or 4 years and then almost want to fight your way out of getting traded and all that stuff because you're tired of sitting behind somebody. The NFL don't work like that no more, man. This ain't 1990s. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the 70s, man. It's 2026, man. These kids are coming straight out, getting paid millions of dollars straight out of college, coming into the NFL, making more millions of dollars to fucking play the NFL. And there's no development anymore. That's why we've lacked for 20-something years because, like you said, we go on potential. And we don't have guys to train the potential.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hey, right now, Old Miss is driving, guys. There's 5 seconds left. Old Miss is on the 35-yard line of Miami.
Oh, damn.
Dude, they are driving back. I'd be like, they just called a timeout. Chambliss is like, hey, man, I got this, baby. He's in the huddle right now. He's sweating up the coach. I be like, you got Beck over there on the other sideline praying to Jesus that everything is going to go down the correct way.
If
like,
Chambliss fucking pulls this shit out, bro, he's gonna be a fucking. He's gonna be a number.
Chambliss is a stud.
He's gonna be
People,
there next
bro,
year, dude. When
he won the championship in D2. His coach is a great coach at Ferris State. I actually met him up here in Denver when we did one of the Glacier clinics. Bro, super smart guy, and he talked about this kid highly. He said that he was a great kid, hard worker, and I'd be like, from what I see right now, man, there's 6 seconds left, and this kid can go from like absolute nowhere. He was a 0-star recruit coming out of college to an absolute stud. We are down there. Hey, it's 31-20 seconds. They are in their full gun. They got 3x2. It's 6 seconds left. Oh, Miami called timeout because they're looking at their formation and going to make the adjustments. Man, if this kid delivers a strike right now and wins this game, Matt Val, he is going to make some mucho dinero. Mucho dinero. Because right now, this kid looks like an absolute stud. If you guys have had an opportunity to watch the games, man, tomorrow.
I was watching it earlier, but you got to pay for everything, so I had to watch it off my phone.
It's on ESPN.
I know. I don't have Sling anymore.
Oh.
I got rid of my Sling because that's all I used with ESPN on it, and then I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, so if you guys get an opportunity, man, tomorrow is going to be another great game. You'll be able to see Fernando Mendoza out there doing what he does.
That's what I want to watch.
Yeah, so it's going to be another great game tomorrow. But Chambliss is in. All right. Now, hey, again, they're in an empty set. You got Miami going into a prevent. They got 2 high safeties all the way backed up into the end zone. They dropped their Mike linebacker about 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. See here, Chambliss is dropping back. He's looking. He's throwing. And let's see here. Oh, incomplete. Game over. No pass interference call. Game. What a game. Miami wins.
So they were on Miami's 35. How come they didn't just kick a field goal?
Because it was 31-27.
Oh, they scored.
They're down 4.
They're up by 4 now. Yeah, they're up by 4. Never mind. I forgot. Yep.
Yeah. Great game, guys. Great game.
Carson Beck, man. I'm telling you, dude.
You know what?
There's going to be people out there wanting him in there.
He's going to be a project guy. And now that he's getting his name in there, I'm telling you right now, the quarterback position this year is not star-studded. Let's be honest. Right now, the only guy that we have that is a primetime name that's entered the draft is Mendoza. After that, there's nobody, bro, that we're going to waste a number 1 draft pick on. Moore hasn't declared. Simpson isn't the guy. So I'll tell you like this. If you don't think Mendoza's the guy, then you're not drafting a quarterback this year.
Yep.
0 quarterbacks.
So what? Arch Manning comes out next year, right? Or can he go 1 more year to college?
I think he can go 5. And that's all. And again, I'm being like some kids. Chambliss is putting in a paperwork for 6 years. The guy from Ole Miss. So I'll be like, there's some guys that are making a career out of playing in college.
Oh, Trinidad.
Oh yeah, this was PI though, bro. This was PI. The guy had his hand inside the shoulder pad, grabbing it, almost pulling him down. And we're going to sit here and say that wasn't PI. Shame on you, ref. Shame on you, but the game is over. So, hey, but guys, hey, we've run our hour. We've done our show. Guys, you guys want to add anything? What's up, sis?
Yeah, I want to do a shout out.
All right, give us a shout out.
Maddie B.
To our friend out in London.
Oh, what up, Brian Kelly? What's cracking, my brother?
We'll do a little shout out to him. So, Maddie B, my head grew a little bit at Cisco's birthday celebration.
DO-Max in the building. Raiders.
Sorry. But yeah, he watches our podcast. So I kind of wanted to He was super chill. He's pretty cool. His accent, great.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Our boy Ryan Kelly out there.
Shout
man.
out, bro.
Appreciate
Shout
you, big
out.
dog.
Yeah, appreciate
Yes,
you
sir.
watching.
Thanks for watching our
And
show, bro.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
and I met bartender Danny.
The
He's
legendary
good.
Danny.
He's good people. Met his son. His son's pretty awesome too.
Danny Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a geologist. That's pretty cool. I want to ask him a million questions. So it was good seeing Cisco and Adam and seeing the family. It was real good. But I was doing my shout out to them three because they're my new friends now, and they're pretty much stuck with me.
Nice.
Hey, Matty B.
Man, I don't have no shout outs, but man, I really hope we turn this around. And I really hope this is the last time we say we're in this situation.
Me and you both, brother.
I sure hope, let's just nail this pick. Let's fucking get back on the right track and let's fucking become the Raiders again, man. Let's fucking win some games. Let's fucking get our fan base into this shit. Let's have everybody on board, from the head coach, the owner, all the way down to the fan base, you know what I mean? And the players, everything. Have everybody on board. Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, baby. Y'all, hey, I'm going to tell you guys like this. This is an exciting time for Raider Nation. Again, at the end of the year, it seems like where all the excitement comes in, where we're looking at new head coaches in a new time. When I tell Raider Nation is to be patient now, is that if we get a young head coach, it's not going to be an instant transformation. If we draft Fernando Mendoza, it doesn't mean that if he struggles in the first year that he's an absolute bust. We have to be patient. We have to come out and we have to say, hey, you know what? It's going to be a year of building, a year of the future, and a year to be excited for Raiders football again. Because this year was an absolute shit show. We took belt to ass all year long.
And I don't even like belt to ass. That shit sucks.
And that's the truth. We just need to stay positive, man, and a lot of good things. Guys, if you guys have the opportunity tomorrow, watch the Indiana game. Make sure you get a good look at Fernando Mendoza, your possible number one pick, and let us know what you guys think. Until next time, guys, we appreciate y'all listening in. Everybody on the chat, Geo Mix, we got our boy Marcus Banks. We had Big Luck. We have our boy Doug with Section 105. We had Ryan Kelly stop by. It's all love. We appreciate you guys. Until next time, it's all about one nation. It's all about one team. It's all about the Raiders.